Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning,
sir.
Good morning.
Last class. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Last class, we just dealt with introduction of parallelogram law of addition. Basically, we learned two things. One is triangle law of addition. If I represent two vectors as two sides of a triangle taken in one order, third side of the triangle taken in the reverse order was the resultant. This we should measure that length. Don't tell me this is 3, this is 4, this will be 7. A is 3 Newton, B is 4 Newton. This will not be 7 Newton. Magnitude of R will be less than 7 Newton because sum of two sides of a triangle will always be greater than the third side. Right?
Yes, sir.
If we were a right angle triangle, then that would be 5 Newton. This is triangle law of addition, which we learned. There was a lag, I believe, in the network. Now you people are able to hear.
So we were able to hear you.
No, sir, we can hear you.
Right. Fine, fine. Good, good. The second we learned was parallelogram law of addition. Now here the two vectors are drawn from a point. One in anti-clockwise, one in clockwise. One in anti-clockwise, one in clockwise. They are not in the same order. From the tail, both of them are not in anti-clockwise or clockwise. One is in anti-clockwise, the other is clockwise. The diagonal of the parallelogram drawn from the same point is the result. How much did you tell me that resultant was? Root over of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. This is what you derived in the previous class. Are you able to recollect?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
two important things for you to visualize. I'll rub this. You have this in your notes, right?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, few important things. This is the resultant. What is the angle which it makes with the first vector?
Alpha
Tan
sin
alpha
A.
will be b sin theta upon a plus b cos theta. B sin theta. Alpha is the angle between R and A. Then it will be B sin theta upon A plus B cos theta. Alpha is the angle between R and A. Then it will be the other vectors into sin theta upon A plus B cos theta.
So if we want to find the angle with a vector b, then it will be a sine theta upon.
Exactly. If you want this angle, it will be A sin theta upon B plus A cos theta.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Interchange the rules of A and B. Now, if A is parallel to B, A is parallel to B. What did you tell me in the start? Add both of them numerically. This is what you told me.
Yes, sir.
Now, will I get it from here? Magnitude of R is root over of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos Z. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is the angle between A and B. So this will be A plus B wholes. This is what you have been telling me.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Second, what is he saying?
So there is a 2ab cos theta, no?
Cos 0 is how much?
Oh, acha, cos 0. Sorry.
1. So A square plus B square plus 2AB will be A plus B whole. If
इसका रूट a square plus b square है.
Pardon?
If a perpendicular to b, so the answer is
Relax. If A is perpendicular to B, this is something that we will use quite frequently. This will be if A is perpendicular to B. If A is perpendicular to B, actually you can see from Pythagoras theorem, if this is B, this is B, R will be A square plus B square.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I apply the formula there, R is root over of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 90. How much is cos 90?
0.
0.
0.
This will be root over of A square plus B square, which I can conveniently make a guess. How do you make a guess? If this is B, this is B. This is a right angle triangle. Magnitude of R will be root over of A square plus B square. Pythagoras theorem.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Take it down till here.
Sir, I joined late. Only this month.
Firstly,
This
you
you have
deserve
done.
a punishment. From next class, I was about to make this announcement. You're joining from home, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
can you just
Do
move
not
aside
effort to
slightly?
be late.
Sorry, sir.
Do not ever, I was waiting after 8 o'clock, I was waiting for 2-3 minutes and then I started. Right? From next class, please make sure that you're joining in time. This is the first thing that we have dealt with.
Okay, sir.
Tell me when you're done with this, I'll have to rub the board.
I have a doubt.
Bolo.
Sir, in when a vector A is parallel to vector B, sir, in root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, you wrote A plus B the whole square. So what about the remaining cos theta?
Cos 0 is how much?
1.
So A square plus B square plus 2AB is A plus B whole square. A square plus B square plus 2AB is A plus B whole square. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That's what I've written. Yeah, don't tell me A plus B whole square, A minus B whole square. I'll have to teach you people now.
Sir, can you explain once again? I did not understand.
What you did not understand, you'll have to tell me.
Oh, so the derivation.
We didn't derive anything. What is your doubt? You'll have to tell me. Hawa mein tir mat maro. Tell me your doubt so that I can address it.
Sir, because like in the first part, the A plus B square, it has cos theta also. So how did it become A plus B the whole square?
Tell me the formula of A plus B whole square.
A square plus B square plus 2AB. Yes, sir. But what about the cos theta?
Cos 0 is 1.
Great lords, these people. That's why 10th standard board exams are mandate.
Oh, sir, I thought it was theta. I didn't see it was cos 0.
How can you not see parallel लिखा हुआ है? ये is parallel to B दिख रहा है. Angle between them 0 दिख रहा है.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Sir, 1 minute.
So wait, sir.
Yes, sir.
No. Listen. Two important points before we solve one or two problems on this. In triangle law of addition, if you can represent three vectors as three sides of a triangle taken in one order, A, B, C are three vectors represented as three sides of a triangle taken in one order. A plus B plus C will be 0. Why? Have a look at this. A plus B, according to you, is the third side of the triangle taken in the reverse order. Yes or no? This is your
Yes, sir.
resultant according to
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yes, sir.
R and C are equal in length, opposite in direction. So A plus B, I will write as minus R plus C. Why minus R? C and R in opposite directions. So this will become 0 because C is equal to R in magnitude.
So I
If I have three vectors represented as three sides of a triangle taken in one order, technically if this is A and this is B, what is your resultant? You will have R in the opposite order.
sir,
Yes.
Now
sir,
R and C are equal and opposite. Will they cancel out?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hence, write down this statement. If three vectors, are represented as three sides of a triangle, if three vectors are represented as three sides of a triangle taken in one order, then the resultant is 0. If three vectors are represented as three sides of a triangle taken in one order, all three should be either anti-clockwise or all three should be in clockwise, taken in one order, then the resultant will be 0.
So,
Ah,
sir, won't minus R plus C be the same? Sir, because R and C are in opposite directions, sir.
so when you add them, A plus B, I'm writing it as R.
Sir, you have written minus R. Yes, sir.
R and C are in opposite directions, so summation will become 0.
Okay, sir.
So
Hmm.
the C vector is in reverse order, right?
C is in this.
Oh,
All three vectors are in the same order. Resultant of A and B will be in opposite order. So A plus B ka resultant will be this way. C is this way. Both of them cancel out each other.
Sir, so C can be said to be minus R, right?
When I take it to the right, by default, you'll get minus R.
Yes, yes, sir, sorry.
Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
No, no, sir, no.
Okay.
Yes.
1 minute. Only that part was.
No. When you want to add multiple vectors, two suggested procedures. First procedure, have a look at this. Suppose I have a vector of say 10 Newton, right? Another vector of 5 Newton. This angle is given as theta, or I take this to be 30 degree and this to be 60 degree. I could have had the 5 Newton somewhere here, anywhere. I translated it kept both the tails at one place for my convenience. 5 Newton could be here, 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 anywhere. I translated it and kept this here. Right? One way of solving them is solve using the parallelogram law of addition. Or wait, I'll take a convenient number for you. Slightly I'm changing this problem. Look out for this. You people know the value of sine 30 and cos 30.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have two vectors. This angle is 30 degree. This angle is 30 degree. That means this vector makes an angle of 60 with this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, I want the resultant of these two vectors. Let us take convenient numbers. Let me take this to be 2 Newton. Let me take this to be 2 Newton. 2 Newton. I am taking very convenient numbers. One way of solving this, please listen carefully. Let the parallelogram be completed. The diagonal of the parallelogram drawn from the same point is the resultant.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The diagonal of the parallelogram. How do you want me to get the value of R? Value of R is root over of 2 square plus 2 square plus 2 into 2 into 2 into cos 30. P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos 30.
Yes, sir.
This will be root over of 4 plus 4 plus 8 into cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Root over of 8 plus 8 root 3 by 2. Make this 4. 4 I can bring it out to 2. 2 plus root 3 is the result. Is my simplification correct?
Sir, it should be 2 root 4. No, sir, it will be 2 root. Oh, sorry, sir. Nothing.
Right? Now, you shouldn't leave the problem here. You will have to tell me the angle alpha. What is alpha? Tan alpha will be equal to alpha is the angle which it makes with this vector. Then the other vector into sine theta plus upon this vector plus this vector cos theta. Alpha is the angle which it makes with this vector. The other vector into sine theta upon this vector plus the other vector cos theta. 2 into sine 30 is 1. 2 plus 2 root 3 by 2. 1 by 2 plus root 3 will be tan alpha.
So will you have to rationalize it?
That's okay. In the multiple choice options, the paper setter will give you the options. Based on it, we can do it. It's not a subjective paper, right? Anymore, it's objective. Our answers will be dependent on what options are given. Now, this is one way of solving parallelogram law of addition. Nothing wrong. But remember, the direction of R you got with first vector, neither x-axis nor y-axis. You got the direction of R with the first vector. If he is asking with x-axis, your answer will be alpha plus 30 degree. Alpha plus 30 degree. How much is the value of alpha? That will depend on the numbers. Don't worry about the numbers. What you are supposed to do is what is being explained. I repeat, it's a direct application of root over of p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. Remaining is mere simplification. Tan alpha will be 2 sin theta upon 2 plus 2 cos theta. Substitute theta is 30. You get alpha is the angle which it makes with x-axis. There is another way of solving this. I'll explain that. Take it down till here.
Sir, in tan alpha, it's 2 sin theta upon 2 plus 2 cos 30 degree, right?
Yeah. Theta is the angle between A and B. So cos 30 is root 3 by 2.
Okay.
From these two, when I bring 4 out of the square root, it becomes 2. Somebody is typing that should be 4 outside the square root. 4, when I bring it out, it will become 2. Square root of 4 is 2.
So I had a doubt.
Hello?
So if in the question they ask the angle which the resultant makes with the x-axis, then you said that we will do alpha plus 30 degree. But so
Right.
over there, then what will we take as A? Like, should we resolve the vectors of 2n, the x component of 2n, and then take it as A? Or
Solve the same problem as it is. Alpha, this value will be given to you. If tan alpha is this, what is the value of alpha? Say probably 17 degrees, let me assume. My answer will be 17 plus 30.
okay, then straight away first we have to find alpha in there.
Right.
Okay, sir.
If you are following this procedure. There is
Okay.
another procedure in which you will directly get the angle with the x-axis. I'll explain that, but I need the book.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Today, you people don't know yet the value of sine 15, cos 15, sine 37, cos 37, sine 53, cos 53. All this you will know by heart. So today I'll not be able to further tell you what is the angle of alpha. I'll have to see trigonometric tables. But the paper setter will arrange the numbers in such a way so that you get a proper value for alpha. That alpha plus 30 is the angle with resultant makes with x-axis.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So done.
Done.
Now, same problem, if I were to solve using a different procedure, what is your different procedure? I will not form the parallelogram at the first place. I am making changes here, you will not. You will redraw the diagram again. For you, this angle is given as 30 degrees. Now, first of all, I will resolve the 2 Newton along x-axis and y-axis. 2 Newton along x-axis will be 2 cos 30. Do you all agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
sir.
I am first resolving this. 2 cos 30. What will its component along y-axis be?
2 sin.
Two sin
Two
sin
sin
30.
Everybody clear with this, right?
Yes, sir.
Now resolve this 2 Newton along x-axis.
2 cos 60.
2 cos 60.
2 cos
2
60.
sin
2 cos 60 because the angle which it makes with x-axis is 60. And this 2 Newton along y-axis will be 2 sin 60.
Yes, sir.
Now, 2 cos 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2.
3
This will be root
Root
3 plus 1.
Plus 1.
How much will this be equal to?
Root 3
2 times
plus 1.
30 is 1 plus root 3.
Root.
So, I will call this to be x, this to be y. If I know x and y, parallelogram law, x is root 3 plus 1, y is root 3 plus 1. Resultant will be root over of x square plus y square.
Yes,
If
sir.
2 vectors are perpendicular, resultant will be root over of x square plus y square.
Yes, sir.
Read this and square this, add them up, put it inside the square root. Now when I want this angle alpha, tan alpha will be y by x. Y and x are same. So alpha is 45 degree. Angle which it makes with
X-axis.
x-axis.
in the previous case you got with the vector A.
Yeah.
So that means that angle was 15 degree plus 30, 45 is the angle which it makes with, or call this with a different symbol phi to avoid confusion. Phi is the angle with the resultant makes with x-axis. Alpha was the angle with the resultant makes with vector A. Both the answers are the same. You can calculate root over of x square and y square and confirm with the answer given there. So I can give you n number of vectors, multiple vectors. Resolve all vectors along x-axis. Along x-axis components, you added them numerically. They are vectors in the same direction. So you can add both of them. Along y-axis, all components you added up numerically. Along the same direction, you can add them up. Rather, you should. So you added both of them here. You added both of them here. You're getting an x component and y component. Resultant will be root over of x square plus y square.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a doubt.
So
what if in the question they asked only about the mod of resultant? Can we find component along any one axis and then add them up numerically to find only the mod?
अब ये only mod ही तो बोल रहे हैं. This is only the mod.
Yeah, but let's say we find component of the first 2 Newton force along x-axis,
right,
as 2 cos 30 degrees,
Okay.
and then the other component as 2 cos 60.
Right.
Then we add them up. So
Right. We
will
have
this
added
be
them up.
yeah? So will this be the mod of resultant vector?
तो इसका क्या करोगे? छोड़ दोगे? आधा problem.
Yeah, can we leave y
Mod of
component?
r is root over of x square plus y square नो यार. X calculate करके y छोड़ दोगे? ये काहे का logic?
Okay, sir.
This problem, the magnitude was same. Other problem, the magnitude will be different.
ये गलत है. If this is equal to this, what makes you say that you will get root 3 plus 1? Add and see. It will not be root 3 plus 1. अरे भाई साहब x component calculate करके y छोड़ दूंगा, इसे गलत way. Half the problem you are doing. You are telling me only half. A vector r is ax I cap plus ay j cap. If it is in the xy plane. आप ये calculate करके बोल रहे हो it will be equal to r. What logic does that make? इसका क्या? It will be root over of ax square plus ay square.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a doubt. Sir,
do you people know the values of cos 120?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cos 60.
No, sir.
yes, sir.
No, it's not
Minus
double.
one, two.
No, sir.
Wait 1 second. Whatever is written on the board, is it over?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Will you solve
No,
the
sir.
problems?
No, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see in chapter exercise 1 and 2?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? You have 5 minutes to solve both of them.
So which one?
One second, wait. नीचे चला. In chapter exercise 1 and 2, are they clearly visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
5 minutes for you to solve.
Done, sir.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay, good, good.
Yes, sir. Done.
Sir, done.
Can I stop screen share?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, the first problem. The first problem they said was, what should be the angle between the two forces? R square is P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is your parallelogram law of addition,
Yes, sir.
right? What is the first force that they have given? 2F. This will become 4F square. Root 2F, 2F square plus 2 into P is 2F into root 2F into cos theta. So that the resultant is how much? 10F. This is what is given.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, this will be 10F square, right? 6F square plus 4 root 2F square cos theta is 10F. Bring 6F square to the right. This will become 4F square is equal to 4 root 2F square cos theta. Cos theta is 1 by root 2. Theta is 45 degree.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Second problem, two forces while acting on a particle in opposite direction have a resultant of 10 Newton. That means A minus B is 10 Newton. Numerically, I'll subtract. A and B are in opposite direction. Opposite direction. Add them or subtract them numerically. If they're in opposite direction, I'll subtract.
Yes, sir.
If they act at right angles to each other, what will be the resultant? It will be
Root over
A
square.
square plus B
B
square.
Yes, sir.
To be 50 Newton. This is my first equation. A square plus B square is 50 square is my second equation. Find the two forces. You have two equations and two variables, right? A is 10 plus B, 10 plus B whole square plus B
I'm not
square.
able to hear you.
Pardon?
I'm not able to hear you.
Others, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Voice is clear.
Yes, now.
Okay. Now, A minus B is 10. This resultant when two are perpendicular is 50. When they are perpendicular, resultant will be root over of A square plus B square. Square of that will be 50 square Pythagoras theorem. You need this line, right? A is 10 plus B, right? So 100 plus B square plus 20B plus B square is 2500. Now, remaining simplification I don't believe is difficult for you people.
Sir.
Huh.
So resultant A minus B is equal to minus 10 or A minus B is equal to 10?
A minus B is equal to 10. Resultant is 10.
Okay,
And
sir.
they're in opposite directions. Resultant will be 10.
Sure.
Ah.
Sure, when asked in a paper, there will be options, right? So when we see 50 square and we see that it's in Pythagoras, can we not assume the Pythagorean triplets to be 30 and 40?
Now, here it is a very initial stages, so they give you very convenient numbers. In the exam paper, etc. will make sure that you cannot make a guess. Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, wait. 1 minute. Sir. So you can rub the board
now. Listen to two things that you will have to get accustomed here. If I give you two vectors and I tell you what is the minimum and maximum I can have as a resultant from these two vectors. Listen carefully. Suppose one vector is 3 Newton, 1 force, and 4 Newton is another force. I'm again taking convenient numbers. What is the maximum resultant I can have and minimum resultant I can have between the two? Suppose when I take 4 this way and I take 3 this way, what is my resultant? 7 Newton.
Yes, sir.
This is the maximum. And what is the minimum I can have? I can have 4 Newton this way and 3 Newton this way. Resultant will be 1 Newton.
Yes, sir.
You mean to say using 4 and 3, arranging them in different directions, I can arrange for a maximum resultant of 7 Newton and a minimum resultant of 1 Newton. Anywhere in between is also possible. If I take 4 Newton this way and 3 Newton this way. What am I getting resultant as 5
Newton.
between these two?
Yes.
Now
Yes,
look
sir.
at the beauty in this. Visualize this. This is the 4 Newton force. Right? This is the 3 Newton force. The scale is the 3 Newton. No, I'll do one thing. Have a look. Scale is the 4 Newton. Marker is the 3 Newton. What is the resultant now?
7.
7 Newton.
7.
7 Newton.
Slowly when I am turning the marker, the resultant is decreasing from 7.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 5
Resultant is
Newton.
5
Newton.
Newton.
from 5 it is decreasing.
Yes, sir.
4,
Now
3,
let's
2,
select
1.
the triangle.
Yes, sir.
It reaches
1.
1 Newton.
Able to visualize this.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
7 Newton say as I am turning, I reached 5 Newton. 5 Newton say I am decreasing, it reaches 1 Newton. So the maximum and minimum resultants I can have. Maximum and minimum resultants we can have. I took 2 examples and explained. Make a note of it. They will give you any 2 numbers.
So this maximum and minimum will be in the modulus sign, right? Like in case we swap the directions, it will be negative.
Right.
Okay.
So done.
Okay. Okay. Second point. Sometimes they'll play few small tricks with you people. They'll tell you resultant is perpendicular to the first vector. Resultant is perpendicular to the first vector. How is that possible here? It
It's
is
a
possible.
obtuse triangle.
This is the first vector. That means B should be making an angle greater than
90.
This is the resultant. This is B, this is A. Angle between them is theta. Resultant is perpendicular to the first vector. If ever resultant is perpendicular to first vector, I'll draw resultant with separating so that you will be able to clearly see that. This is the result. This is the resultant R. A is the first vector, B is the second vector. Now, if he tells you resultant is perpendicular to the first vector, angle between A and B is greater than 90. Now, here to solve these problems, you people need to know values of cos theta greater than 90. Here we will slow down, introduce cos theta, sin theta values greater than 90, and then we will go ahead with vectors. Now you understand why we need to slow down and go into cos theta, right? Because here theta is the angle between A and B. Theta is the angle between A and B, which is greater than 90. This is A. But temporarily, how do you want me to solve this problem? Observe carefully. If this is B, don't you think this is B?
Yes,
Yes.
This is A. So I can write B square is equal to A square plus R square. Pythagoras theorem.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
A square is A square plus R square. If this is B, this is B. Parallelogram. So this is A and this is B. B square is R square plus A square. If the resultant is perpendicular to the first vector,
So can we also solve this through resolution of vectors?
comfortably you can solve.
So you can take that as the y-axis and vector A as the x-axis. And then vector B, if you resolve it into the as the x components, then
Comfortably you can solve. Why are you explaining it to me? I'll not explain it to the students right now because pi minus theta, pi plus theta values I haven't yet explained. So I'll wait for some time, introduce that, and then I'll do.
Sir, how have you decreased the length of A? Then so the magnitude will change, no?
Yeah, I didn't decrease. They have given this particular value. I took that as the x-axis. That's all. If that creates confusion, keep it as A.
Oh, okay, sir.
Done, sir.
So wait.
One second. Yes, sir.
Now this is called polygon law of addition. Polygon, it can be n number of sides. Polygon law of addition. If n vectors are represented as n sides of a polygon taken in one order, closing side of the polygon taken in the reverse order is the result. I repeat, I'll dictate the statement, don't write in a hurry, I'll dictate. If n vectors are represented as n sides of a triangle, n sides of a polygon taken in one order, closing side of the polygon taken in the reverse order is the result. I'll dictate the statement. Wait, if n vectors are represented as n sides of a polygon taken in one order, all in anti-clockwise or all in clockwise. If n vectors are represented as n sides of a polygon taken in one order, closing side of the polygon taken in the reverse order is your resultant. How? दिखा दो मुझे. Triangle law of addition. A and B are two sides of a triangle. Can I call this to be R1?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A and B are two sides of a triangle taken in one order. Third side of the triangle taken in the reverse order.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, R1 and C are two sides of a triangle taken in one order. Resultant will be R2, third side of the triangle taken in the reverse order.
Yes.
R1 and C are two sides of a triangle taken in one order. Third side of the triangle taken in the reverse order. R2 and D are two sides of a triangle taken in one order. Will I get R3?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, am I getting capital R?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Mathematically, R1 is A plus B. R1 is A plus B. Right? R2 will be R1 plus C. R3 will be R2 plus D. Capital R will be R3 plus E. Add all of them. This will go, this will go, this will go. R will be equal to A plus B plus C plus D plus E. First, write down the statement. I'll dictate the statement. If n vectors, are represented, if n vectors are represented as n sides of a polygon, if n vectors are represented as n sides of a polygon taken in one order, if n vectors are represented as n sides of a polygon taken in one order, then the closing side of the polygon taken in the reverse order, then the closing side of the polygon taken in the reverse order is the resultant. Then the closing side of the polygon taken in the reverse order is the resultant.
Should we draw that figure, sir?
Now draw the figure and write this. Now, by the way, just for my info, if n vectors are represented as n sides of a closed polygon, what is the resultant?
Zero.
Sir, I had a doubt.
Bolo.
How is capital R is equal to A plus B plus C plus D plus E?
Add all of them, put to the left, add all of them to the right. R1 from left and right will get cancelled.
Yes, sir.
I'm left with R is equal to A plus B plus C plus D plus E.
Okay, sir, got it.
And the other way of looking at it is A plus B is R1. R1 plus C is R2. R2 plus B is R3. R3 plus E is capital R.
Sir,
Ah,
so you have made the figure in a rotating this, but it could be in any way, right?
anyway, I have no problem with that. A, B, C, D, E, F. My resultant will be the closing side of the polygon taken in the reverse order. This will be my R. A, B, C, A, B, C, D, E, F. Resultant will be the closing side of the polygon. These were all taken in one order. Resultant will be the closing side of the polygon taken in the reverse order.
So in this case also R will be A plus B plus C plus D plus E F plus.
Resultant of all means A plus B plus C plus D plus E. No, yaar. Resultant of all of them. What will you write the resultant of all of them? A plus B plus C plus D plus E.
And sir, to get the magnitude, how will we get that?
That geometry is different. That geometry, you'll have to measure this line. Or you should know the geometry of that polygon. Is it a hexagon? It is a polygon. It will change from structure to structure, right? If not, measure this length using a scale.
Sir.
This is geometrical representation. He will tell you B makes an angle of theta. So at theta, I'll have to draw B. Then he'll tell you C makes an angle of theta and draw C. D makes an angle of theta from C. That way you will measure this particular length.
Sir.
Sir, so we have to directly measure it.
Bolo.
Sir, what if all of them are equal?
Let them be. How will your problem change if they're equal?
Okay, sir.
If two vectors are equal, you have a problem in adding them?
No, sir.
Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No. In actual practice, how will you add multiple vectors? You have got n number of vectors. How will you add them? Two procedures will be simpler. Suppose I take something like this. I have a vector A making an angle of theta. Vector B making an angle of phi. Vector C this way perpendicular to the x-axis. Now arranging them as a polygon, measuring the third closing side will be purely geometric. You need a technical drawing setup to do the calculation, right? Instead, suggested procedure is take this along x-axis and y-axis. What is the component of A along x-axis? A cos theta. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Component of B along x-axis minus B cos phi. Minus Q.
Opposite direction.
Opposite direction.
A is in this direction. B is in this direction. How do you know this is B cos phi? Component of B adjacent to the angle is vector into cos of the angle. Now these both x components I'm done with. Now y component. This will be A sin theta plus B sin phi minus. This is A sin theta. This is B sin phi. Both of them are in upward direction. I added them up. C is in the downward direction. I subtracted. So whole of this I will call as y. Whole of this I will call as x. Resultant is root over of x square plus y square.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So when you have n number of vectors represented this way, though you know polygon law of addition, the geometric representation will be uncomfortable. Hence, we suggest resolve all of them along x and y. Add all the x components, add all the y components. You will have one x component and one y component. If two vectors are perpendicular, resultant of the two vectors is under root a square plus b square, rather x square plus y square. Make a note of it. Tomorrow we have a doubt lecture, right?
Yes, sir.
As soon as the class is over, I'll be sending the assignment sheet on this. You people will have to complete it tonight. The assignment sheet is not long, it's hardly 10 to 13 problems. It's not long.
Done.
So what about this image?
So wait, so wait, so
What
don't.
Once
Sir, you mark the component of C along y-axis as minus C. Then where is the component of C in x-axis, sir?
If there is a vector like this and I want its component, now suppose let me take this to be C. What is its component along x-axis?
C cos
C cos
90.
90. How much is cos 90?
0.
The component of C along x-axis is C cos 90.
Okay, sir.
0.
Yes, I got it. Thank you, sir.
Maintain the same notes all throughout for vectors. Now, may it be the assignment sheet, may it be for your quick references, always you'll have that notes. Physics ke liye don't keep multiple notes. Turning pages of different notes will be difficult. Before the test, going through your notes is the easiest way to revise.
Can you explain why is y equals to a sine theta plus b sine?
This is a sine theta. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
B, this will be B sine phi. Agreed? If this is B, this will be B sine phi.
Yes,
This
sir.
will be B cos phi. This will be B sine phi. Now B sine phi translated it to origin. A sine theta and B sine phi are in the same direction. Say something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you added them up. C is in the downward direction, so you subtracted. Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Having said and done all this, easiest addition of vectors can be done if you represent the vector in Cartesian coordinates. What do you mean by that? We have already learned this. R1 or vector A is ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap. What does this mean? It means that tail of this vector is at the origin, head of the vector is at the coordinates ax, ay, az. All of you are aware of it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Vector B is bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap. You asked me for A plus B. How easy the calculation is. All vectors along the x-axis, you can add them up.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. In the same direction. So this will become ax plus bx I cap, ay plus by j cap, az plus bz k cap. Life is so simple. If you ask me a minus b, it will be ax minus bx I cap, ay minus by j cap, az plus bz k cap. You ask me a minus 2b. 2 you are multiplying with this.
Sir, it should be AZ minus BZ.
Yes, sir.
A minus bz. Fine. A minus 2b. Ax minus 2bx I cap. Ay minus 2by j cap. Az minus 2bz k cap. As simple as it. All your calculations will become relatively very simple if you represent a vector in the form of Cartesian coordinates. Rather, position vector. The catch is tail of the vector will be at the origin. Coordinates of the head of the vector are ax, ay, az. Take it down till here.
Sir, what should be the heading of this part?
Cartesian coordinate system. Cartesian coordinate representation.
Sir, when we represent a vector, why do we write plus between like ax, I cap? Why is the plus coming?
Because it is the resultant of these both.
Acha.
It is the resultant of the x component and y component.
Okay, sir.
So, can you show vector in geometrically?
Two-dimensional plane, you have already seen that, right?
Yes, sir.
Three-dimension, all that you will draw is draw a cube. It will be slightly difficult for you to visualize three dimensions. But suppose I say two-dimension, this is y-axis, x-axis. Coordinates of this are ax, ay. That means this will be the vector R. Suppose I take az as well, the vector will be like this outside the book.
Okay, sir.
Coordinates of the head of the vector is ax, comma, ay.
So,
Huh.
so will you be sharing the recording of this video?
Yeah, I'll be uploading it on the channel.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Can I rub the board?
Yes, sir.
Just a second.
Technically, we call this also the position vector. position of the head with respect to the tail. Tail is at the origin. These are the coordinates of the head of the vector. Technically, we call this even the position vector. Position of the head with respect to the tail.
Yes, sir. Done.
Suppose if ever I tell you that I am going from R1 to R2, a particle is taken from R1 to R2. How do I get this vector R? I am going from a position R1 to position R2. How do
R1 minus R2.
vector R? 1 to 2 will be R2 minus R. See if you are convinced. R2, this will be minus R. There are two sides of a triangle taken in one order, minus R1 and R2. Third side of the triangle taken in the reverse order is my R.
Yes.
On the contrary, if I go from 2 to 1, I am going from 2 to 1. This is R. This is R. Here I am going from 1 to 2. There I am going from 2 to 1. From 2 to 1. That means I should take minus R2. Minus R2 and R1 are in one order. So this R will be R1 minus R. Are you trying to tell me always it will be the final position vector minus the initial position vector? Yes. R will be final position vector minus initial position vector. R is final position vector minus initial position vector. It will always be final minus initial. Now I give you R1 as 2i cap plus 3j cap. R2 is 4i cap plus j cap. If I am going from 1 to 2, from 1 to 2 will be R2 minus R1. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm going from 1 to 2. Final minus initial. How do you do R2 minus R1? 4 minus 2. 2i cap. 1 minus 3 minus 2j cap. 4 minus 2. 2i cap. 1 minus 3 minus 2j cap. Similarly, from 2 to 1. From 2 to 1. R will be R1 minus R2. Final is R1, initial is R. Subtract, see what you are getting, and tell me when you are done with.
Minus 2i cap plus 2j
Minus
cap.
2i cap and minus minus 2i cap minus 2.
Right, perfect.
So,
Huh.
sir, if we want to find the magnitude of this 2i cap minus 2j cap, so we have to apply Pythagoras theorem, right?
Magnitude के लिए it will be root over of ax square plus ay square. I'll come to that probably 1 minute from now. I need to rub the board.
Sir, can I ask?
Yeah.
Sir, if the first vector is in 2 dimension and the second vector is in 3 dimension, so
any two lines can always be in one plane. So if the second vector is this way, then my xy plane itself will come this way.
okay, so it should always be in same plane.
Actually, these both two lines will always be in the same plane. Right?
Yes.
From two lines, you can always draw a plane using two lines.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So always remember, how do I get a vector? It is final position vector minus initial position vector. Final minus initial. If I am going from 1 to 2, right, it will be the resultant of R2 and minus R1. Minus R1 and R2 are two sides of the triangle taken in one order. Third side of the triangle taken in the reverse order. If this is the resultant, it will be resultant of R2 and minus R1. R2 and minus R1. It will be R2 minus R1. Right? Suppose I am going from 2 to 1. That means R1 and minus R2 are two sides of a triangle. Third side of the triangle taken in the reverse order. So this will be R1 minus R2. Final minus initial coordinates. Always remember, it is final minus initial coordinates.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Hello?
So you have written from 2 to 1, R vector is equals to R1 minus R2. So we can do directly now by that it is in the opposite direction. So just putting the minus sign, we can write minus.
Because you did this, that will be the reverse of that. Nothing to worry about. 2 to 1, you are going from 2 to 1 implies final coordinate minus initial coordinate. Remember it that. Obviously, these both will be negative of each other, R1 to R21, because the length is the same, opposite in directions.
Done, sir. Sir, in the first case, shouldn't it be R2 minus of minus R1?
No. Why? You are adding R2 and minus R1.
Okay.
Minus R1 is this. You are adding them both. If you represent a vector in position coordinates, what will its magnitude be? R is equal to xi cap plus yj cap. That means how do you draw this? Coordinates of this are x comma y. So what will be the resultant R? Magnitude of R will be root over of x square plus y square. Magnitude of R is root over of x square plus y square. This length will be equal to what? Root over of x square plus y square?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Suppose I write the vector as xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. Magnitude of R is root over of x square plus y square plus z square. The same logic extrapolated. Suppose you want to visualize this. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. Your vector is from this origin to this coordinate.
So which is the z-axis?
Z-axis is perpendicular to the board outwards. This is x-axis, this is y-axis in the plane of the board. Z-axis is perpendicular to the border. Now, you want this as the vector. Coordinates of this are x, comma, y, comma, z. This is the origin. So you want this length. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
This line is z. Sorry, y. Do you agree with that? This
Yes, sir.
line is the y coordinate.
Yes, sir.
This is the x coordinate. This is the z coordinate. Can you tell me what will this resultant be? This resultant will be x square plus z square by Pythagoras theorem.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That will be the base of the triangle in red. This will be the base of the triangle in red. So magnitude of R is y square plus this square, x square plus z square with the square. 2 times you applied Pythagoras theorem. First time you applied for x and z to get this diagonal. Now this becomes the base of this right angle triangle. Square of this plus square of this is r square. Square of this and square of this is r square. Is the logic clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Even if you have a doubt in it, take it down till here. I'll again explain this in the next class and then we will go ahead. Tomorrow's doubt lecture, I'll first explain this again, even if you have a doubt, and then I'll discuss the assignment sheet.
Sir, what headings will we give for this?
This is magnitude of the vector. Magnitude, how to calculate the magnitude of a position vector. So see you people in tomorrow's class. You will receive the assignment sheet today.
Sir, when will you send it?
Probably by 11:30 you will receive.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.